Hi there, welcome to Kneppy Invest and welcome to the 1st of September 2025. Time is currently 2:11 p.m, so just under 2 hours left of trading today on my last or the last ASX Daily Rundown video I will be recording for the next 2 and a bit months. In fact, the next ASX Daily Rundown video more than likely won't be recorded until November the 10th, which is a Monday. I'll be arriving back on a Friday. I won't record a video on that day, and then maybe straight back into Q&A video, and then a technical update video, and then an ASX Daily Rundown video on November 10. However, who knows what's going to happen in the next 2 and a bit months? Maybe a meteor is going to strike Earth and we all die, or maybe I'm going to meet a really rich woman and we marry, and she's so rich that I don't have to do any of this sort of thing. Or even then, even in that sort of situation, I might still do this because I don't mind doing this sort of thing. Anyway, so that is the plan moving forward. The other thing I should mention is Western United States is 17 hours behind us, which means when the ASX opens at 10 a.m, it's 5 p.m. there, which means at the end of my day, I will get to wherever I'm staying and I will look at what happened on the ASX on open or just after open if I get there a little bit later after 5. But I will still have a look at all the announcements, which I do every single day. I will have a look at interesting charts. Maybe my usual thing I do at the start of every trading day, it's going to be a little bit more abbreviated, but I still intend to follow the goings on the ASX. I just won't record any videos, no live videos or anything like that. So even though I will be away for 2 and a bit months, I'll still be looking at the ASX. Okay, now on to today's video. No agenda because you know exactly what I'm going to be talking about. Now, in saying all that, a fairly quiet day on the ASX in terms of announcements, but there's still a few interesting announcements. And when I get to the top 5 stocks, I haven't figured out the order just yet, but I do have a good idea which companies have performed well. But when I go to the top gainers of the day, that is when I'll decide on the order of the top 5. Okay, now on to the ASX today. And a pretty ordinary day on the market, which is not a surprise. The Wall Street was down a fair bit, particularly NASDAQ, if I remember correctly, down a fair bit on Friday. Nikkei's down a fair bit as well, and Hang Seng's up. And the reason Hang Seng is up about 1.5% is because of China manufacturing. PMI hits 5-month high. The other thing, Australia corporate profits unexpectedly drop in the second quarter. I'm going to have a read of that. I just noticed this just before I started recording. And the other interesting thing here was Japanese shares follow Wall Street lower, and Japan second quarter capital spending above expectations. But anyway, Nikkei's down about 1.5%. Hang Seng's down or up about 1.5%. American futures down about 0.1%. So a little bit of weakness on our market today. But in saying all that, another good day for small caps, up 0.55%. So the strength in small caps has continued. And I have no doubt we're seeing a little bit of strength in gold. We'll have a look at gold in a second because I think gold's just broken out. I just had a look at the chart for gold, and gold has broken out. I got to almost an all-time high, but this looks like a classic breakout. And you won't be shocked, maybe you will be. You won't be shocked, or maybe you will be, that gold indice is up 5.63%. Yeah, 5.63%. So that is the strength on our market today, apart from small caps. And if you have a look at the best and worst performing sectors, utilities, staples, and telecommunications are all up. And if someone asked me what are the 3 defensive sectors, I would say utilities, staples, and telecommunications. So is there a bit of defensiveness coming into the ASX? A bit of a risk off, I think they call it. And that sort of would make sense because IT is down by the most, and that is more of a risk on. Discretionary down a fair bit as well. So a bit of concerns about spending maybe. Financials down 1%. So overall, fairly weak apart from defensive companies. ASX 20 down 1.1%. Wowzers. So fairly negative day for the bigger companies, and that's probably because of the banks. And I'm assuming iron ore is down. And the reason I say that is because I saw in Capital Brief, BHP and Rio Tinto share slide as iron ore futures decline. There you go. So I am assuming now we've seen broad weakness among the banks, iron ore stocks, and I'm trying to think which companies might be up. So maybe Telstra's up. Woolworths might be up. Transurban might be up if that's in the ASX 20. I can't remember. So I'm going to say about 3 or 4 companies are up in the ASX 20. falls up, and those 4 companies are Telstra or Sigma Healthcare. By the way, I should mention I have taken a position in Sigma Healthcare. Yes, I have taken a position in Sigma Healthcare. I now consider this company I think I've always considered Sigma Healthcare to be high quality because it's Chemist Warehouse, again, Chemist Warehouse. And I just thought this morning, no, I'm not sure about the valuation, but what I'll do is I'll take a position. If the share price drops a lot, I will add to my position. Now, this is what I did with Pro Medicus. I went, I think it might be expensive, but I'll take a position, and the share price just kept on going up. It's gone up 5 or 6-fold since then. I don't think the same thing will happen to Sigma Healthcare, but that's what I've done. And then Transurban and Brambles. Woolworths is not up, by the way. I thought maybe with defensive companies up, it would be up. Worst performing companies in the ASX 20, Fortescue. I am going to assume Fortescue went ex-dividend. That's the other thing. Quite a few companies will be going ex-dividend. Let's have a look. Dividends. 1st of September. Yep. Fortescue's gone ex-dividend. I noticed one of my companies was down a fair bit, and I was like, oh, why is it down? And then ex-dividend. Okay, so that's why Fortescue's down. WiseTech's down. Tech, Aristocrat, REA Group, so a lot of tech there. Rio Tinto's down 1.7%. And there you go. Okay, and CBA down 1.19%. Let's just have a look at the CBA's chart. Have a look at this one for a while. If I can find TradingView, there we go. Going away from the awesome gold chart. Beautiful chart. And CBA, it is starting to look really weak. So there is a downtrend here. It's a short-term downtrend. And it is, it's following the downtrend line fairly nicely. So if CBA falls below about $165, that would be a fairly negative move. So a little bit of weakness in CBA. So maybe we are starting to see profit taking, and no one's willing to buy. And the other thing, notice the bad days are far overwhelming the good days. And when CBA has a bad day, it falls a fair bit. Okay, so that's CBA. Now onto the top gainers. And this is where I'm going to decide my top 5. Oh, and 4D Medical, there you go. That is going to be the stock of the day. So they did release an announcement. Actually, did they release 2 announcements? No, that was Loomis Diagnostics. So they received, and I won't talk about it. The reason why 4D Medical is up is one of the sort of announcements that would get me excited about a company. I would maybe take a position in the companies that release these sort of announcements. So I'll talk about that company. Dreadnought Resources, that was a part of my list of potential top 5. So we'll put that down as number 3. I will talk about RPMGlobal. So that's in my top 5. And Activeport. Fun enough, all these companies I thought would be having a fairly good day. So all 4 of those. And they are some of the best performers on the ASX today. Other than that, nothing else here that I can remember. A fair few gold companies, silver companies, which is understandable. And if we go to the best performers by market cap, is this going to be filled or full of gold companies? Let's have a look. Well, apart from Harvey Norman, gold. Well, don't know, Great Land Resources. I'm assuming gold. Gold. Take over. Gold. Someone asked me about Mika Metals. Are you still a holder of Mika? Yes, I am, Lewis Don. I am still a shareholder of Mika. It's in my super, so I am not trading it. So when a company is in my super, I'm less likely to trade that company. In fact, much less likely. So for me, Mika Metals is more of a longer-term play. And then 4D Medical, silver, Invictus Energy, up again, silver, gold, Explorer, Fenix. We're going to put Fenix in the top 5 as well. Coming in number 4. That was on my list. So a few companies on my list. So I did write down 8 ticker codes, only missing 3. And will we see those 3 companies? In fact, I might talk about those 3 companies very quickly. Top losers. There was nothing really bad that I did see. Although in focus group, I do remember this one. I'm trying to remember what that was. A capital raising. It might have been a capital raising. I do remember this. Financing in focus to launch digital ventures unit and financing. Okay, I'm bored already, so we'll move on. Share price down a fair bit. Okay. Other than that, you can see fairly low turnover. And then we have energy transition minerals. And why is this one down? Let's have a look. Did they release anything today? No, they did not. OMG Group. Oh, is this one? Is this the one that did a capital raising? Maybe. No. Oh, they did do a capital raising not that long ago. Okay, there you go. They did do a capital raising. Yeah. Although that was 27th of August. Oh, look, way too much volatility. This is probably just noise. Probably just noise for OMG Group. And apart from that, Ares Resources, the CEO and director, has retired. Maybe that's why that's down. And nothing of note. Worst performing companies by what do you call it? Market cap. Now, the problem with some of these is they could be down because of dividends, like Jumbo Interactive went ex-dividend. I'm wondering if Babcock went ex-dividend, Generation Development Group, GR Engineering, Hello World might have gone ex-dividend. Let's just pick a few out of that list. Maybe, EZZ is down a fair bit. Oh, they did release results, by the way. Bioxen's down 8%. And so let's just have a look at Babcock. Did they go ex-dividend? Let's have a look. No, they don't. No, they're not. They're going ex-dividend in a few days, which is interesting. And what's the other one? GDG, I would say their dividend wouldn't be that much. No, they're going ex-dividend on the 5th. There you go. Okay, now on to the top 5 stocks, which I already have in order, because all these companies up a fair bit on really interesting or intriguing announcements. First one is 4D Medical. This is FDA approval. Let's go have a look at this announcement from 4D Medical. Share price up 35.1%. And the share price of this company has gone on a really big tear because of the catalyst of the tear, or the share price rising for this company, has been the partnership with ProMedicus. Yeah, anyway. 4D Medical receives FDA clearance for CTVQ. Whenever I see this sort of announcement, I do get, I wouldn't say a little bit excited, but this is an interesting point for a company to get FDA clearance. And sometimes you will see the share price of a company run up after this. Now, I do get a little bit more excited about successful phase 3 trials. And then after that, you get FDA clearance, but it could take a little bit of time. But I do like these sort of announcements. So whenever I see FDA clearance, I think, hey, I'll have a look at this one. Now, I did open up this. Market cap, no, not market cap. The total addressable market is fairly high, $1.1 billion, I think they said. Yep, total initial addressable market of 1.1 billion US dollars. Doesn't mean they're going to get all of that. And they're going to have an investor webinar tomorrow. Anyway, so a fair few good news stories for 4D Medical coming through the last few weeks. Now, the company is still not generating cash flow. In fact, if you have a look at their report, still a little bit away from that. So there is still a little bit of risk in this company in terms of how profitable they're going to be, if at all, who knows. So only $5 million or $6 million in revenue, and a loss of, what's that, $30 million. So still a little bit of risk in this company. But if you have a look at the chart, you can see there is a bit of excitement behind this company. And the very fact that ProMedicus took a position in 4D Medical, I think it was, took a position, is actually might verify their technology. Maybe. Anyway, so you can just see the share price just running up like a rock for the last month. Maybe not like a rock, because rocks don't climb. Like a feather in an updraft. Like a feather in a thermal. Rising like a feather in a thermal. A really strong thermal. Share price actually gone from, what's that, 20 cents? 24 cents to 77 cents in a month. Yep, in a month. There you go. 4D Medical. Coming in a bit. Wait, that's a stock of the day. I did this wrong way. So 4D Medical is the stock of the day. I did this completely the wrong way around. Okay, so let's do it in reverse order. So I suppose this is the last ASX Daily Rundown video I'm doing for a while. So let's do it in reverse order. So stock of the day was 4D Medical. And coming in at number 2, we have a Dreadnought Resources. Share price up 16.67%. It was up way more. Oh, look at the share price. That's why. Okay, so share price 1.4 No, 1.4 cents. Share price up 17%. Start of Mangaroo and Shines Gold, including 7 meters at 46.7 grams per ton. Now, maybe the share price is running up because overall excitement in gold space. But this looked pretty good. 7 meters at 46.7 grams, 12 meters at 20.6. I thought this was pretty good. 2 meters at 112.9. Now, if this was like 120 meters at 20.6 grams, this probably would be the greatest gold hit in history, maybe. Anyway, so I thought this was pretty good for Dreadnought Resources. I'm not the biggest expert on reading drilling results for gold, but I'm better at reading drilling results for gold than I am for most other commodities because I read a fair bit about it. Anyway, so let's have a look at the chart for Dreadnought Resources. Not sure if I've ever looked at this company before. So, and yeah, this could be, just could be. Now, we don't have volume here. What happened to my volume? There we go. Yeah, I would have preferred some higher volume coming through today. I would have preferred some higher volume. So Dreadnought Resources, a potential breakout here, but I think I need a little bit more confirmation for this company. Plus, it's a gold explorer. Fair bit of, this is just a story stock. I'm assuming they aren't in production anywhere. So more of a story stock. And I'm also assuming it's a fairly small company, unless they have a lot of shares on issue with a share price of 1.4 cents. Yeah, 76, well, they have a lot of shares on issue. Yeah, 5 billion shares on issue. That's a little bit of a negative thing for me as well. And there we are, share price up 25% on market index. So share price has pulled back a little bit because someone sold some shares. There we go. Well, I thought, yeah, it's actually 14.5 cents. So the share price is up about 20%. Okay, coming in at number 3, we have Activeport, another company that has been releasing some interesting announcements recently. And today was another one. They've also name dropped a Megaport in today's announcement. Now, the announcement that got me, I wouldn't say excited about this company, was released on the 14th of August. So about 2.5 weeks ago. The company unveils first Australian private cloud superhighway. It sounded really interesting, and the market agreed. Share price on that particular day rallied 130%. Fair bit of volatility since then. In fact, we have seen numerous days where the share price has either risen or dropped by over 10%. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, including today, 7. In fact, only 5 days has the share price dropped below 10%. In fact, only 1 day has the share price dropped or risen below 5%. So a lot of volatility in this company right now. Share price is at 2.8 cents. And yeah, so the announcement today was launches Megaport-enabled NNI exchange in Asia. The only reason I was interested in this one is because they name dropped Megaport. That's about it. There was no mention of any financial, how financial good this is going to be for the company. I don't remember seeing that. Just talking about market opportunity, et cetera, but we just don't know how successful this is going to be. So the market is excited about this company right now, and this is another bit of news flow from the company that has got the market a little bit excited. But as we saw before, a lot of volatility in this company's share price. Now, I don't mind this chart. I really liked how the share price popped up, has pulled back, and then we're starting to see the share price run up again. A little bit of resistance at around about 3 cents. But that's okay. A lot of excitement, a lot of volume coming through this company as well. So it looks like possibly that private superhighway was the catalyst for the market getting interested in this company. And if the company keeps releasing interesting announcements like the one today, maybe the share price will keep on rising. And the market cap for Activeport, I'm going to say 40 million. 26.23 million. So it's not a big company at all. All right, coming in number 4, we have Fenix. Fenix or Phoenix. No, I call it Fenix. I think it is Fenix. Share price up 12.5% on securing 290 million ton well range iron project. I've mentioned that I do like this company a few times in the past, and the price I was thinking of buying in, if the share price fell to about 24 cents, I would buy in for the longer term. I do like what the management is doing. They seem like they are, whatever they're doing, they are acquiring or diversifying and acquiring, and it seems like whatever they're doing, diversifying and acquiring projects and businesses has been successful so far. And this doesn't seem that expensive. Now, I haven't closely looked at the details, but on first glance, it didn't seem that expensive. So they're just, I don't know. There's something about this management that I do like. So, here we go. Transformational right to mine agreement with the world's largest steel producer secures 200 million tonne Weld Range iron ore project. 30-year agreement granting Fenix exclusive right to mine iron ore from the Weld Range project, providing Fenix with a 290 million tonne resource to markedly extend mine life and expand production. Now, they do have to give a bit of money back to whoever they're buying it from. And there is a mention of what they have to give back somewhere, like a bit of a royalty and then also profit. Here it is. Production royalty, $4 per dry metric ton to $5 per dry metric ton, and also a profit share payment, 10% of net profit when iron ore price is below $100 a ton, US dollars, and 15% of profit when the iron ore price is above $100 per ton. Anyway, so I just think this is another step in the right direction for Fenix, and another possibility where, or another acquisition where, if it turns out pretty good, makes me raise my opinion even further for the management of this company. Now, let's have a look at the chart for Fenix. The other thing is we did see a little bit of weakness in iron ore, and this has gone against the grain, and this chart starts to look really nice. Fenix, I was thinking I could probably get in at 24 cents because it does fall on occasion to 24 cents, but I'm not sure now. I am not sure for Fenix. Pretty nice looking chart. And coming in at number 5, we have RPMGlobal. Okay, so share price up 22.8% on a takeover bid. What do we have here? There was something in here. Here it is, Thorley Photography. Thanks for the great video. You're welcome. You always say may as well sell at premium in case the takeover falls through, but this time you hope the board says no. I'd be interested to hear why RPMGlobal is different to most other takeover opportunity to recommend sell. Interesting enough, this is absolutely true. Whenever there's a takeover bid for a company I own, I typically sell. And I don't know if Thorley Photography is a mind reader. In this case, I haven't sold. I'm thinking about it, but I haven't sold. And I just hope this falls through. Even if the share price drops a fair bit, I, in a way, hope the share price does, or the takeover falls through. I don't think it will, but the takeover bid is for $5. For share price is $4.63. I think that's the other reason why I'm just not going to sell, because the share price is well below the takeover bid offer, and there could be competing bids, because I sort of mention in this particular announcement that it seems like the management was aiming for this to happen. This was the end goal. And this is just based off their commentary, which sort of makes sense now, because I did hear an expert say the reason they took a position in this company was because it was a prime takeover target. So maybe they had talked to management and they knew this sort of thing, which is sort of, I don't know if I like that, but because I had information that wasn't out there. Anyway, what should I? Where do they say it? The receipt of the indicated proposal follows the board's decision to run a structured process, which was initiated in response to receipt of inbound interest from global strategic buyers and financial sponsors that increased in the period following completion of the divestiture of its advisory division. So, based off that paragraph, I'm thinking possibility that there might be. Possibly, maybe this is just me hoping there will be a bidding war, and I'm even just hoping that the whole takeover bid falls through. I'm just hoping, but I'm not confident of that. I do think eventually this company will be taken over, but I'm hoping there's going to be a bidding war. Anyway, so by the way, and the company did release results recently, and results, I always do this. The results were really good. Very impressed by these results. And look at the share price just popping up on the results, and then all of a sudden takeover bid. Okay, so another company I wish I would have owned for the long term, and more than likely it's going bye-bye. Okay, a few other companies I'll just mention that I thought maybe the share price would pop up, maybe. Vection Technologies, share price is up, but not as much. They added another contract. And now, this was one of the first announcements released today. That's why I wrote it down, because who knows how many interesting announcements would be released. Lotus Resources is now in production, uranium. I always like these sort of announcements. First uranium production at Kaylee Kera. There you go. Always like those announcements. Share price up 10%. I have a feeling this chart looks really nice right now. Lotus Resources. Oh, it's broken out. It's broken out. I put a line here. I don't know when I put this line here. And it's broken out today. This is a breakout. Breakout for Lotus. Breakout for Lotus. 2 thumbs up. And the other one was Ore Body, I think. No, Ore Zone. Share price up 4.4% on market update. I was like, oh, this is interesting. A market update just after results. They went to training halt last week. This is in regards to Burkina Faso and West African Resources. And they just mentioned here that they have a project in Burkina Faso that has not received any request from the government of Burkina Faso in respect of purchasing an equity ownership interest in their gold mine. And I would have assumed that the shareholders of this company would have been concerned with what's happening with West African Resources. And West African Resources now in suspension because of this bit of news that Burkina Faso wants to take or increase the equity ownership in one of West African Resources mines. Not all of it. I think it's just one mine. So, okay, so that's it. A shortened video today, which sort of makes sense because nothing much happened. And that's it. So I hope you enjoy the next 2 months. I will not be replying to any comments. In fact, as soon as not tonight, I'll be shutting down my computers, and that'll be it. That'll be it. I will be looking. No, I won't. I won't look at any comments over the next 2 months. I'm on holiday. Anyway, so I hope you enjoy that period. Hope you like all the banked videos. The first video I will be releasing is, by the way, maybe tomorrow morning is unlisted. I've got it unlisted. Kneppy Invest 2-month plan preview of pre-recorded videos. I'll release that tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow afternoon, the first banked video will be released. And that video is, by the way, my top 20 holdings as of start of financial year 26. And I have that scheduled to be released at 5:30 p.m. So all my videos, now I do have quite often I will have 2 videos released on a day, but typically a video will be released at 5:30 p.m. and in the morning maybe 6 a.m. Now, the only reason this might not come off is because I'm going to be overseas. They actually could change the time zone because you do have to put the time zone in. So I've tried to put local time, but I might need to change that to because I'm wondering if they're going to change that from local time, which over there would be a different time. So I might have to change that to, where is it? Sydney. Do I have to do that? I don't know. Anyway. Schedule. Okay. That's it. Oh, crap. What happened there? Ooh, I'm going to go. Okay, anyway, that's it for this video. Have a good day. Have a good week. Have a good month. Have a good 2 months. And I'll see you back on November 10, 2025, hopefully. Okay, see ya. Bye.